The FaZe Clan uploaded their first video to YouTube, the world was a completely different place than today. I mean, Instagram didn't exist, Minecraft hadn't officially released, and Drake was yet to drop his debut album.
Oh hey, what's up? It's FaZe Clan.
For over 15 years, FaZe Clan has constantly sat at the top of the internet's food chain like some sort of unkillable giant.
Yeah, that's true.
But I guess the saying is true. The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
That same night, boom, cooked.
Over the course of just 72 hours, every member left the org.
I officially left FaZe Clan.
A 15-year dynasty ended.
FaZe Clan ended. It's gone.
And down went Goliath.
How does that happen?
I'm not sure, brother.
How do you kill the unkillable? Is it money?
Where's the money? Where is it?
Is it greed?
I don't really know what's going on.
How does the biggest org in the world get replaced by a talent agency?
I decided to leave DraftKings.
The new management made a collapse, man. That's why.
You launch Hearthstone.
When it comes to FaZe Clan, there's a lot that goes into it. I mean, you're talking about 15 years of problems building up until its final death. So before we really dive into the good stuff, we need to get everybody on the same page, at least on the important stuff. But don't worry, we're gonna speedrun it. Ready? On a macro level, you have two eras of FaZe. There's OG FaZe and there's new FaZe. When it comes to OG FaZe, there's four names that matter the most: Apex, Temper, Rain, and Banks. They're the founding fathers. They took FaZe from a clan tagging culture.
Adapt was in the original phase. Oh, I think he joined a little bit after, but he was the original phase with the FaZe and all the other guys.
Call of Duty lobbies to one of the biggest names on the internet.
FaZe Clan.
FaZe Clan? FaZe Clan.
Together, they built one of the earliest blueprints for social media, pioneering things like content houses and paving the way for the next generation of creators. OG FaZe reached the heights that it did because of how genuine it was. When they first started this whole thing, being an influencer wasn't even a thing, and neither was the money that came with it. But as the internet changed, OG FaZe died alongside it. As social media became a business, a crippling domino effect started.
This guy got introduced by somebody that everyone really trusted.
The founders brought someone in to help them grow as an actual company.
Steph came in and immediately started divide and conquer.
That original CEO brought in more people, brought in investors until eventually it was too late.
I literally heard with my own ears, people that got hired within a month or two saying, we don't need the founders.
The founders were essentially stripped out of their own company, and the friendship that FaZe was built on was...
That's crazy. So the new management, the new hired people said that they don't need the founders. That's crazy. Like, they build everything.
Shattered because of it. The corporate leaders took FaZe public, and it started out hot with a $1 billion valuation.
$1 billion. That's crazy. Oh my god, I didn't know about that.
But within a year, the stock plummeted. The company was on the verge
CEO.
of being listed, and bankruptcy was right around the corner. While that sounds horrible, it was actually the best case scenario for FaZe. This was the brand's second chance. The company was run into the ground because the people running it didn't understand it. This rock bottom was the birth of new FaZe. To fix the problems behind the crash, a company called GameSquare acquired FaZe and put the people who knew it best back into leadership roles. The founders were back driving the ship.
Because we're taking this back, and we're running it the f up, and your boys got plans.
For the past 2 years, we've watched as FaZe Clan return to its former glory, dominating
the trick shot.
Internet as a group of friends who really seemed to be having fun making content. Or at least, that's how it seemed. Because we've now, for the second time, seen FaZe Clan crash and burn. Except this time, I don't really think it's getting back up.
I don't think so either. They're gonna get back together. Like, there will be obviously stream as friends and everything, but not in FaZe.
It's sad, bro. Cause this really did mean something to me, bro.
So how does
Yeah, man, Adapt was from the beginning till now.
that happen? How do you get a second chance, do everything right, and still end up here? Well, what I've come to realize is that the revival of FaZe didn't play out quite how it was marketed. And to best explain it, we've got to start back at the blank slate.
Got the password
just a few
back,
months before the
Banks.
GameSquare acquisition.
This puppy is crashing harder than DB Cooper when he jumped out of that airplane. A 95.8% decrease. It is disastrous.
So early 2023, FaZe's stock is in a freefall. Mass layoffs are happening left. FaZe members are publicly trashing the leadership.
It's such a privilege to be in FaZe, right?
It's a mess. The board finally realizes it's over. They're bleeding money, they've got no plan to turn it around, and no investment bank wants to touch them. So they're bleeding.
Wait, what? FaZe Rain, Super Smash, 25,000, Vara, 224, 37. Oh, this is how FaZe can spend their money. Yo. 700,000
and no investment bank wants to
50
touch them. So they do
a
the only
month.
thing left. They start shopping the company around, basically looking for someone willing to make FaZe their problem.
I don't know how long it was until the GameScore stuff started, but I think for the first time in a long time, us four founders kind of were talking, you know, actively.
So at that time, I sure remember even Banks posting a picture of us four saying up to something. And it was like us four outside of like a mirror. There was like an elevator.
Nothing's in stone yet. You know, we're still figuring things out, but I pray and I hope that things do. And I just genuinely believe they are. Even if things go south, as long as we're unified, we're all on the same side, I think in the end of the day, we'll win. I just genuinely do. I don't know what it is. It's just something's telling me, my soul's telling me everything's going to work out. I believe it.
After we met as a group of four for all these months trying to figure out what to do next, decisions were made, things happened, and then really, you know, Banks took the reins, and then it was kind of like just a Banks show at that point. And I'm not necessarily saying that in a good or bad way. I'm just saying that's what happened.
The founders got together and came up with a plan to take FaZe back. They worked together to write a term sheet and pitched it to the board. Ultimately, the board said no, and the conversation shifted to an offer from GameSquare.
And I blessed GameSquare coming in and buying it because Kenna came to me before there was any purchase made. And said the only way that we're going to do this is if you're the guy who's going to run it.
On paper, the deal looked simple enough. GameSquare would buy FaZe Clan for $14 million in an all-stock transaction. They'd bring the founders back, put them in leadership roles, and let them actually run the company. The board approved it, 3 founders signed it, 1 didn't. Now,
who didn't sign it?
Building a business on social media is harder than most people think. I mean, growing a following is one thing, but actually making money from it is a totally different beast. That's where WAP comes in.
WAP is an internet market designed to run every part of your online business.
You can sell a course, send invoices, launch a private community, or even on how we do what we do. If you're ready to take your side hustle seriously,
cut a lick on your boy, look like a retard, and feel dumb.
Behind the scenes, GameSquare made a move that would change everything. They took FaZe Clan and split it in 2. Esports and social media. For years, those ran under one roof. Now they were separate entities. Esports stayed under the original legal structure, but the content side, the streamers, the houses, the whole culture of FaZe, fell under a brand new company called FaZe Media. When does Matt Kalish come into the picture?
Alright.
They're both from Lowell, Massachusetts. They met somehow. They bonded over cryptocurrencies. Next thing I know, he's investing $11 million into FaZe Media.
Days after the acquisition finalized, GameSquare sold 49% of FaZe Media to Matt Kalish, the co-founder of DraftKings, for $11 million.
That whole structure of how that went down, I was not informed. I was in the picture. If you go look at the picture of the article, I was standing in the picture. But did I know anything about that article or the detail that was happening? No, not at all.
By late April, the revival began rolling out. FaZe wiped most of their roster clean, leaving just a handful of OGs. Then they announced the new roster, a group of streamers that weren't as well known online.
Richard, hey, let's have a chat. You dropped the roster, bud. I think you also dropped the ball.
The internet was quick to voice their opinions, but Banks had a vision and he was sticking to it.
I can't apologize.
But the new FaZe were, like, they are awesome, eh? Not only the old FaZe, but the new one are also very, very entertaining.
Guys, for doing what feels right. I can't apologize for wanting this to be fun again. I can't apologize for trying to do right by the brand. If it was the right decision to step away or get out of the way, I would do that in 2 seconds because I'm indebted to FaZe Clan.
Ronaldo and Lacey, the duo, it's so funny.
I've seen FaZe be mismanaged and abused and the life sucked out of it for so long that like all I want to do is I want to see the brand run and win and thrive because it deserves to.
He knew if you take a group of guys, throw them into an environment where everything is carefree, let them have fun, and capture it on camera, it works. It's the same strategy from the FaZe New York house. He was just trying to recreate that. With that $11 million from Matt Kalish, FaZe created the perfect enviroment. They rented an LA mansion.
This house is great. This is, I think, the best house that they had. The newer house, I don't like it as much. But this is the house I like the most.
Paid for content ideas, hired an entire support staff, removed any stress about money or bills, and just let the streamers make the best content possible. By the end of 2024, it had worked. The new FaZe roster had taken over the internet. Their clips flooded TikTok. Their streams became
everywhere.
The biggest on the platform. They all set new peaks, breaking viewership and subscriber records. At the Streamer Awards, FaZe Clan was named the best content org. Banks' vision was proven right.
You guys have heard the story a million times. I guess I can run it through one more time. We got stolen from us, me and my boys. Shout out Tommy, Rain, Apex. got it back, did the only thing that there was to really do, which was wipe the slate clean, hit the reset button, give the fresh start. People told us we were dumb. People told me I was ruining FaZe. People asked me, who the is Lacey? Who the is Black Boy Max, Stable Ronaldo? Who the is Silky?
Silky, Lacey, Jason, Adapt, man, crazy group.
I guess now they know. Damn!
And Babsy too, look.
I ended up peaking at new levels that I never thought I could hit. You know, I met all my friends
GT3.
here that I like to call family, and I retired my mom this year.
That's good, man.
Crazy.
I hope I can do that too also one day.
This is fire. This is fire.
To retire my family.
We going for more awards next year for sure.
But as 2025 came into the picture, things started to shift. And to understand why, we need to talk about money. Specifically who owned what and who was left holding the bag. When GameSquare formed FaZe Media, it started as a textbook 51-49 split. GameSquare moved all of FaZe's IP, logos, and trademarks into this new entity and kept 51% control. Matt Kalish invested $11 million for the other 49%. That cash went straight into FaZe Media's bank account, funding the houses, the staff, the whole revival. Simple enough. But then in June 2024, a third player entered the game. Banks wanted his piece, so he took out a $9.5 million loan from Matt Kalish, then used it to buy out exactly half of GameSquare's stake, making him a 25.5% owner of the company.
Diamond hands by GameSquare. But if Banks has been involved in this process since day one and gave GameSquare the blessing to buy the entirety of FaZe Clan, as he has said, how the did he end up letting them sell an eighth of the business back to him for basically $10 million when they bought the entire thing for 14? Like, why give GameSquare your blessing to then turn around and buy an eighth of the company?
Well, I think the most obvious answer is the correct one here, where it wasn't planned and things just started happening and you took advantage of it as things popped up.
Here's the thing. Unlike Kalish's original $11 million, which went into building FaZe Media, Banks' $9.5 million didn't help the brand at all. So that money went straight to GameSquare's corporate balance sheet. GameSquare got paid, and they were willing to sell because they'd already gotten what they wanted. Listen to the CEO of GameSquare say it himself.
Really, there was two main assets, FaZe Esports and FaZe Media. The FaZe Media side of it was an asset that we helped clean up, but for us, in the public company environment...
So they just said, we made the money back, we can sell it for a big-ass profit. That's what they wanted to do.
Our focus was on FaZe Esports. Gives us real reach with audience. FaZe Esports is profitable, it's growing. You know, FaZe Media is still in a bit of a rebuild, it's burning a bit of cash, so...
The media side, the streamers, the content, was just an add-on they were happy to offload. They got the esports teams they actually wanted, plus $9.5 million in cash for selling half of something they considered a bonus. But GameSquare got paid twice. In November of 2024, they entered into a $10 million convertible note transaction with Matt Kalish. To translate, Matt Kalish gave them another $10 million in cash to pay off some other random debt, and in return, he could either take shares in GameSquare itself or claim their remaining 25.5% stake in FaZe Media. By April 1st, 2025, the deal closed. GameSquare's remaining equity was transferred to Matt Kalish, making him the single largest shareholder of FaZe Media with 75.5% ownership.
Founder of DraftKings is Matt Kalish, who is on the board at FaZe.
So, to recap, GameSquare bought FaZe Clan for $14 million in stock, then sold half of the company back to Banks and Kalish for $20 million in cash, and still got to keep the part of the company they actually wanted, the esports teams. Meanwhile, Matt Kalish had poured over $30 million into the revival of FaZe, and once he got majority ownership, he started trying to recoup that money.
But he
From
didn't,
day one, Banks
right?
and Kalish seemed closely aligned.
What's going on, buddy? Matt, you're on vlog right now.
In August of 2024, Banks said on a podcast that Banks Group owned the majority of FaZe Media.
So FaZe Media is a company that we just set up a couple months back. Banks Group actually owns the majority of it now, 74.5%, I believe is what it is, finally.
And just days after Kalish received GameSquare's 25.5%, Banks tweeted out that he owned 100% of FaZe Media, which I'm pointing out because he's essentially framing the two of them as just one entity, almost like they're inseparable. By May 2025, conversations about restructuring FaZe started happening. At this point, money was flowing one way. FaZe funded talent, covering 6 figures per month in rent, content costs, staff, food, but wasn't seeing anything really come back.
How does the business of FaZe work now? Like, who owns FaZe?
Obviously, we don't own a crazy amount because we're not the ones who put up millions of dollars a month to do the house, millions of dollars for employees, for content, or whatever.
They'd signed sponsorship.
So FaZe paid for house, employees, everything. So the content creator like Ronaldo, Lacy, Adept, they can concentrate on content. That's it.
Deals with G Fuel and 4Loco worth millions.
Oh yeah.
Millions go quick when you're bankrolling an entire content operation. Leadership started negotiating a revenue split with talent. Rumors online speculated 80-20. Talent keeps 80% and FaZe takes 20% of everything. Twitch revenue, YouTube ad money, sponsorships, the whole...
FaZe wanted 80% and the content creator would take only 20%. That's crazy. They are out of their mind. Why they would do that?
Supposed to sign a contract where they would be giving up 20% of their income to join FaZe.
I'm gonna be honest, you guys.
So it's the other way. So they would give 20% of their revenue. That's still crazy.
20%. That is not crazy.
Because they are making content for the FaZe channel, I think. Obviously, they are making the content for FaZe channel. All the merchandise, all the sponsorship, the company is keeping. So they are not getting anything. So why would they give their own, like Twitch revenue or YouTube ad revenue to FaZe?
20%? That's like a market rate.
Initially, not much came from these early talks. FaZe kept paying rent, covering content costs. Meanwhile, the talent kept growing. Stream viewerships rising, subscriber counts climbing. The guys in FaZe were printing money as some of the biggest names on the internet, and FaZe was still paying most of their expenses.
I live in an $80,000 a month house with all of my best friends. I get to wake up whenever I want. I get to go live whenever I want, and I get to do whatever I want for free. And then I get to make 100% of the money I make from it. How can I not sit here and be blessed?
Then on June 27th, something interesting happened.
Yeah,
a trademark
that's true.
was filed for a talent agency called Hardscope. But the funny thing is, it was filed by FaZe Media.
Oh.
By the end of the summer, 2 things happened. First, after a series of drama that Banks was constantly at the center of, the talent asked
It's getting all mingled up, man.
him to step down publicly from his role as CEO. Banks doesn't make content, and the backlash from his actions ultimately fell into the talent's chats. They were the ones left answering for it. So, he stepped down.
FaZe Banks stepped down as CEO of FaZe Clan.
Banks had just recently stepped down as CEO.
There's a lot of
Yeah, because there was also a crypto scandal that he rug pulled a coin.
y'all just don't need to know about.
Second, after negotiations continued to escalate, one member decided to leave FaZe entirely.
Yes, I'm leaving FaZe. Like I just said, I can't fully go into depth why I'm leaving FaZe, but I am leaving.
Blackboy Max said he wanted to build something that he
Yeah, when I used to watch their content in that time period, I saw that Blackboy Max wasn't the same, man. He wasn't happy as much, and he at the end left FaZe. And I think he did the right choice way before all the other guys did.
Owned and shared concerns over what control talent actually had.
And person who introduced me tells me, according to my assistant and my creative director at the time, who were sitting in on all calls because they're on my team, tell me I have to fire my manager and get rid of
Wait. So FaZe told Blackboy Max that he has to fire his manager.
or I can't be here.
Which is bad, because if FaZe can make the houses, the furniture, and the staff appear, they can also make it disappear. As negotiations continued, Hardscope was going. The agency started hiring employees, started to make a portfolio piece based on the success of FaZe Clan. By mid-November, logos were being finalized. Long-term FaZe employees were being transitioned to the new agency. It was becoming clear that Hardscope was the future of the business for Matt Kalish. Then he made it his full-time focus. Matt Kalish announced that he was stepping down from his role as the president of DraftKings, a company he co-founded 12 years ago and turned into a billion-dollar behemoth.
I decided to leave DraftKings and transition out to do this full-time to launch Hardscope, which is kind of the platform that FaZe operates on. You know, I felt like it was the right time for me to go all in on that, and I'm really excited to be doing it.
In his announcement post on LinkedIn, he teased what was coming next, a new platform focused on the creator economy. But he closed with something that, in hindsight, sounds a bit eerie. It reads, "While I am keeping the details close to the vest until mid-December, those who know me understand my DraftKings DNA runs deep. In everything we do, we always play to compete fiercely and win." The official launch of Hardscope happened at the Streamer Awards.
Welcome to the 5th annual Streamer Awards.
The same night that FaZe Clan hit a new high. The same night multiple FaZe members stapled their names into internet history. The same night FaZe was crowned the best content org for the second year in a row.
And the Streamer Award goes to
FaZe Clan.
FaZe Clan.
Hardscope's launch video ran multiple times throughout the event, broadcasting how they revived FaZe Clan and were now opening their services to creators and brands alike. That's when conversations ended and ultimatums began. Sign a contract or get out.
You know when this started though? We just won a fucking stream org of the year game. That same night went to hell, chat. We didn't even have time to celebrate. That same night, cooked. GG.
It was genuinely perfect for 2 years, bro. Back-to-back orgs of the year. Like, the guys were crushing it.
So the same day they said you have to sign this contract. That's crazy.
Their own thing. I just think the infrastructure that was put around FaZe the last 2 years, I don't know what's going on. I don't know how it even led to that. Like, things can get so bad that everyone's forced out because of just stupid deals. An org isn't anything without the talent.
The entirety of FaZe, both
Yeah,
the streamers
that's true.
who just joined and those who'd been a part of it for over a decade, officially left
14
the org.
years.
Y'all seen the news?
Adapt.
Who's seen the news?
I don't want to be cliche. I don't want to drag this, but as you can tell by the title, I left FaZe, and it's really something, like I said, I don't want to be cliche, but something I never really expected to say.
I officially left FaZe Clan.
You know, I decided to leave.
We have decided as a group that obviously it was in our best intention to leave FaZe Clan.
I have officially left FaZe Clan. It is sad, man. It really, really is sad. Especially for me, man. We got so close to fixing it, and we just won org of the year, and it's sad, bro. It is. Even now, talking about it, it's sad. 14 years later, that this is how it will be coming to an end, man.
Here's the thing, I don't really think anyone's the villain here.
Man.
It's hard to blame Matt Kalish for wanting to recoup the $30 million he poured into this thing. And the direction he's taking with Hardscope, it's objectively a more sustainable business model, something they can actually scale in ways a content group never could. As for the talent, if those contracts had been on the table from day one, a lot of them probably would have signed. But you can't expect them to sign now. Not when they're this big.
Yeah.
Not when they've seen what happens when someone else controls your brand. Because FaZe proved it. Twice. Social media is a business now. And if you don't own what you build, someone else will decide what happens to it.
This was one of the worst decisions
True.
I've ever made in my entire life. I gave up my entire adult life to this. I have never made not one singular dollar outside of my salary via FaZe. Not selling it, not buying it, raising money. Where's the money? I'm this f***ing guy who's trying to take everything from everybody. Where is it? Then why the f*** am I millions of dollars in debt?
When it comes to Banks and what he owns, things get pretty blurry fast. From the surface, it looks like Hardscope falls under FaZe Media, which would mean that if Banks still owns his shares of FaZe Media, he'd technically be a part owner of this new talent agency. You know, the one that's now the full-time focus of a multi-billionaire with a proven track record of scaling companies to insane heights? Banks has tiptoed around this topic. From what I've seen, he's never publicly said he sold his shares. He's just said that he's not involved in FaZe, but has never spoken a word of Hardscope. But all in all, the real problem with FaZe was never the people. It was
I think he still owns the shares in FaZe.
always the same impossible question. How do you turn magic into a business without killing the magic?
FaZe Media, Banks, and Kalish still own the IP for FaZe. Can it ever exist again?
You know, while it's in their hands, because they technically own the IP, they could, at this point, you know, Matt Kalish has enough money to just let that die if he wants to, you know, and just like never sell it again. And I don't know, really anything could happen.
Would you want to see FaZe revive, come back from the dead once again, even if that meant that you couldn't be a part of it?
I don't envision that it's going to be attempted to be revived, but maybe I'm wrong. I really don't know.
I think everybody's kind of like just defeated at this point. They've given up. Like they've always had a sliver of hope. Maybe even me, like why I still live in LA? Like why the f I still live in LA Like I've been in this apartment for 5 years. I fucking hate it. Why do I live here? Maybe like the whole time I lived here, like I wanted to move, but there was a sliver of hope. Maybe something will change in FaZe. I want to make sure I'm here for it. I don't know. Maybe that's the reason.
I think part of me needs to just bury it and move on with my life. As hard as it is, like I always love it. I always wish for the logo in the company to be successful. I just don't know what that would mean if it came back again.
The ultimate downfall of FaZe Clan highlights the fundamental problem with the business model behind content groups. We've seen it time and again. They're destined to fail. The only group that has truly stood the test of time is the
Sidemen.
The reason why is pretty simple. They own the
because they own everything. They manage everything. That's why.
Themselves. Every member has equal shares and voting power. But most importantly, their friendship is priority number one. And that's what makes FaZe
They were friends first, then they founded the Sidemen.
Story so tragic. They had that too once, but as the business evolved, it shredded everything that the logo once stood for.
The reason FaZe fell apart is there was no glue in the foundation of our friendship. What makes me sad is like, no way we built something that low-key just changed the internet. It did. And yet we built something so beautiful, yet don't have an unbreakable bond, and it breaks my heart. That alone tells me that there was no saving FaZe, because if the brotherhood wasn't there, FaZe isn't there.
I think as things got bigger, as a lot more people got involved, I think everyone just grew apart and just had different things we focused on outside of FaZe. That's like a normal life thing anyways, you grow apart from people, but throw in all this, and it's just like, you know what really sucked the most was the only time that we would talk was about problems.
In 2021, I actually was dealing with severe financial issues because I paid $1 billion in medical bills. I have insane family expenses, taxes, of course. I was getting rinsed left and right while making no income, and FaZe knew that, and they wanted to give me a lump sum of like, what, $500K that they owed me. And they said, but sign an NDA, we're not paying it. Called my mom. I said, Mom, they're trying to hold this money over my head.
Oh my God.
I'll sell my cars, I'll sell my jewelry, I'll sell whatever the fuck it takes. I'm not doing it. And I love my family because they were proud. Later, not bad.
I do still feel the human emotions of being sad, thinking if I think too deep of it or look back at old videos or whatever, like it gives me a really weird feeling in my stomach.
Okay, my bad. What were you saying?
Yeah, I think we were just talking about
oh, the NDAs and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, my bad, because that time is so sensitive for me, bro. Like, because again, one thing I don't like is like I'm the only one that didn't sign the NDA, and like when they were trying to force me to get the money, and they knew everything I was going through. I don't know if Apex did too much, but Tommy and Banks kept saying, I don't see the problem, sign the NDA. What do you want us to do? And it just f***ed me up, bro, because they did not see a singular issue with them holding money over my head and saying like, no, sign this NDA or we're not giving you shit.
Yeah, it's not the best, unfortunately, where we're at. Like, are we all ever gonna be in the same room again? No, probably not. Like, I was gonna say maybe when someone dies, but I think even if someone dies, like, I don't know if everybody, like, I can't tell you who would show up and who wouldn't.
Some of us will never be able to get it out of our system, bro, because it's such a one-on-one experience. Like, I'll never get to be a kid again, right? So I'll never get to build my childhood dream as a kid and watch it come to fruition. I'll just never have that again.
You know, I have just a deep love genuinely for like FaZe, everything to do with FaZe, all the people that were in it, all the people that supported it. It just sucks that most people are gonna remember it for the nastiness that kind of happened, but like people that know, the people that experience that feeling that I'm talking about that I can't put into words. No,
yeah, man.
I just love connecting with people that have that same feel, and I'm sure a lot of people that are watching this are those people too. So, you know,
I think FaZe is gone.